All right, so gonna do another video. Why not? I love doing these just to record the information and make sure I've got proof of it as well. Poor dog's not feeling the best at the moment because we've just had to sit here while some dirty, disgusting lowlife must have been vaping in the building nearby. This disgusting building that we're subjected to live in has only two areas where there's basically airflow through. It is really low, fucking low life. Junkie people. That's all you can say. It's junkies. Which in America you're not going to see because they put them in jail. You know, like police do their job in the US. You know, I love when you walk up 35th Street in between 8th Avenue and 9th Avenue and there's a lineup of junkies getting booked. They throw them in jail. They walk around, clean up the streets, pick them up, arrest them. You're a junkie, in jail. Perfect. This one needs to happen in Sydney. I got dragged into, so basically Tamworth people is the ones that actually started this as well. I can't stand them. They're fucking losers. Anyway, you can see like there's one. That's all where you've got for airflow. And there was this stink of vape and it was making my dog vomit coming through. So imagine living like that. That's just shows the low life that you have to live around. And I lived the longest period of my life in Surrey Hills. It was beautiful. I was up near Crown Street. Like, seriously, I lived there for such a long time. And I thought, oh, it's close by, you know, where I'm currently am. You know, it'd be very similar. Oh, no. Think of the most, honestly, it's like living in Mount Druitt. Yeah, it's disgusting. Anyway, I wish Dad would wake up to himself. Mark Fleming, my dad. See, that's the thing. Mark Fleming's my father. Police had wrong information years ago and they won't correct it. Basically, some police officer thought that my father was Mark Rackley. So that's my stepfather. You're an idiot. We're going around in circles still. We're still going around in circles. Now, my phone's about to die. Let me get the charger 1 second. All right. So now I've got the phone charging. So this all started, like, this has been going on. I can almost go, it's been going on since 2009. Really. Now you can turn around and say, oh, Giovanni lied. It's like, yeah, fair enough, fine. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he used to always do this all the time. Like in March 2013 when he told his family, my family, his work, all this bullshit. He told George Jacobs that he was at home looking after me in March 2013. Not only that, see, when I came back, because I wasn't in Australia in March 2013, and I couldn't work out why just after March 2013 I started getting people affiliated with Stephanie DeSalis, funny enough, harassing me. This actually happened. I came back from being overseas. Now, I planned to be in America in, I actually planned to be there in 2012 after I submitted my application for the green card. But in 2012, of course, we were moving from apartment 1 or 392 Cleveland Street. Why that happened, and I kept saying this, so Giovanni was making stories up saying that there was some trauma towards the house fire. I'm like, can you stop telling people bullshit stories? You're bad, it's Carol. Like, seriously, you are exactly like my mother. My ex-boyfriend, Giovanni Consalvo, is the biggest scam artist liar like my mother, Carol Purdy. So, we didn't have a house fire. Like I kept saying to people, no, we were affected by our neighbour's house fire. We're not the only neighbouring property. I'm sure other people were affected by it as well. Why don't you tell the truth? Giovanni's not big on actually telling the exact detail. For an example, he goes to people, oh, Justin's still traumatized from the house fire. I'm like, and then I have people come up and goes, you've had a house fire? That must have been so traumatic. How did that start? I'm like, I never had a house fire. And then instantly you get idiots go, he doesn't remember. It's like, are you fucking insane? Are you insane? Seriously? It was Jacques and Bobby May and Annie May who lived upstairs when Jeremy Patterson moved out, so the apartment above us. And they had the house fire. And it affected our property because we were below them and it went through the ceiling. But it's not traumatic. I wasn't even there for it. It's just the fact that, you know, I kept arguing the point going, I don't want to move out of the apartment. There's no reason. You can fix the roof while living it. And they were doing this to increase the rent basically because I was on a really good rent. I was like, fucking hell. So in 2012, I moved from Surrey Hills and stayed at the holiday house at Long Beach while I was looking for a new apartment. And then moved into apartment 3, then apartment 5 in Rushcutters Bay. So Giovanni tells the bullshit. And it's exactly like my mother, and it's exactly like my mother's family, which is why he probably gets along really well. It's like, oh god, no wonder you're getting away with good scams, Giovanni. You're not a carer. And you're getting away with it because Robin Child's a little scam artist, so is Christy Childs, so is Mary Mihowski, so is Carol Purdy. You fucking picked a good scummy family. I'm not close to my mum's side. Can't stand them. So anyway, so let's get back to the actual facts. Facts are, 2012 when I submitted the application, and I was going to the US, but had to move. All right, so moved from Surrey Hills, and I'm staying at was it, what's the name of the address? Is it 23 Bangalow? Anyway, could have been 23. I think it would have been 23 Bangalow. Anyway, at Long Beach, staying there looking for apartments. Moved into apartment 3 in Rushcrest Bay, then apartment 5. That was all in 2012. I'm like, oh, this is too much moving. I said, I plan to be in America since I submitted the green card application. I was like, look, I'll put it off to next year. So I put it off to March 2013. So March 2013 was already planned in 2012. Okay. So then Giovanni, I can't come over with you. I've got to work, right? That's what he told me. I was like, are you going to come over to the States with me? Like, oh, no. He has to work. I'm like, oh, okay. No, he wasn't working. He actually went into George Jacobs' office, wailing. I can't believe he's not arrested. Wailing, you got no idea what we're going to do for Justin. He won't leave the house. He's depressed and suicidal. Right, I came back to this. Okay, after March 20th, I came back to Australia, and I'm seeing George Jacobs because part of my workers' comp. And he starts telling me, goes, I was really worried. I raised red flags with the crisis group. I'm like, for what? He goes, oh, because you were depressed and suicidal. I'm like, when? Seriously, this guy never listened to me. He goes, well, you're afraid to leave the apartment. I'm like, I was in America. I actually was out in Times Square. I met a guy, a hairdresser called Morgan Ryan or something, or Ryan Morgan or something. He's from Florida. Ryan Morgan. He was from Florida, but he was doing a conference in New York at the time. I was staying at the New York hotel. I was out at the Merchant Cigar Lounge in the Meatpacking District. I went and did a tour of New Jersey. I was up in Woodbury, New York. So how was I in Sydney? I can tell you. And George Jacobs didn't believe me. I was like, oh, you were doing all this for you? I'm like, yes, I was. He didn't believe me. He did not believe me. Giovanni's a good actor. I'm like, well, check immigration, because I wasn't in the country. George Jacobs probably to date hasn't corrected that information. He had me in Sydney in March 2013. It's like, well, I can't be in two places at once. I was either in New York, and I can tell you who witnessed that in New York. Johnny Totaro and Sandra happened to be in New York at the same time. Okay, they were there. But, I didn't catch up with them the whole time because I was doing my own thing. But they were actually at the same hotel I was in, at the New York hotel. So I can just say, well, yeah, there's fun. We went out to a jazz club. We went out to the Merchant Cigar Lounge in the Meatpacking District, and I went off to do other things. I caught up with a guy, So, yeah, I wasn't in, Australia. That information wasn't. So I asked George Jacobs to go back and tell the crisis group that, well, how could I be suicidal in my apartment when I wasn't here? I was overseas. So Giovanni used that to take time off work. And guess what March 2013 is? Fair Day, Mardi Gras. He turned my apartment. So apparently, and I found out, apparently he turned my apartment while I was away for a month in America into a sex drug pit. Yeah, smoking crystal meth and doing all drugs. Yeah, he thinks I'm an idiot. Honest to God. So how I found out was I'm in the apartment. So besides that, what George Jacobs said, you fucking bastard. So already I know that Giovanni was off work because George Jacobs wrote him a note to say he had to be at home looking after me. Yeah, funny because I'm in America. So I already knew Giovanni wasn't at work. Okay, and I never let on to him, and he kept saying to me, oh, it must be nice that, it's like, oh, I'm thinking, you cunt. You fucking cunt, because you weren't at work, Giovanni. So the next thing, so I'm in the apartment, and this guy rings the doorbell. Might have been, I think his name might have been Craig or something. Some little twinkie kid from King's Cross, some little prostitute twink. And he wanted the porno back. They were downloading porn on my computer. So, yeah, great. With all my workers' comp documents, I'm like, what? Because it's left it in your computer. There it was. I was like, and the guy told me what was happening. And he goes, the place was like a sex pit. We were smoking crystal meth. And I'm like, great. Because Giovanni knows the way I feel about that. Yeah. This was the entire March 2013. All right. And he's still, like I only told him last year. And he goes, why don't you bring it up? I said, what was the point? Bring it up, Giovanni. You've been lying since 2009, so why would I bring it up? You've been lying so good that you've got my family manipulated, so why would I bring it up? You know, I'm sitting back for 10 years telling you to do the right thing, Giovanni. You were told in 2016 to go back to certain people, groups and organisations, tell them the truth and do the right thing. You're like, no. I'm like, you're a cunt. You're only getting away with this because my mother's family are pieces of shit. And my dad's side really don't know things that were going on that well. Like, you know, they really have no idea. You've got away with manipulating. You committed fraud. You got police eating out of your hand. That just, to me, I look at the Australian government organisations going, they're dumb as dog shit. I look at New South Wales Police going, you're dumb as dog shit. Well, you can't look at the fucking facts. Well, you can't look at immigration. How is Giovanni at home looking after me in March 2013 when I'm in America? Can't be in two places at once, but you're just a dumb dog shit fucking worker of the government. Simple. This has been going on for years. So, all this bullshit, and I'm extremely anti. Some idiot started making up stories that I used drugs. Yeah, but since when? And my mother, here we go. As soon as these lies started, my mother thought she'll use this. Now, I've posted a text message from Faith Rackley, the deadbeat piece of shit, half-caste, that my mother had with her second husband. I fucking can't stand her. She's disgusting. She's a fucking lowlife like the Rackleys. She's like her brother, Daniel Rackley. Yeah, she does have a brother, Daniel Rackley, who lived in Tamworth. He used to hang around with the nurses and Freemasons at that Freemason nursing home. Daniel Rackley, the cannabis smoker. Guess what? In the last 10 years, I get dragged into where people thought I smoked cannabis. It's like, no. I even had it offered to me when I was getting a tattoo done on my back in Fiji because they had no pain medication. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm so anti-cannabis. So fucking anti like you wouldn't believe. I think it's disgusting. Pisses me off. I like the fact that the Australian law says you can be jailed for 2 years for smoking cannabis. Extremely. Mark Rackley, big cannabis smoker. Daniel Rackley, the Rackleys. Christy Childs, massive. Christy Childs' partner, Justin, who's his Aboriginal. So the father of Christy Childs' children is an Aboriginal, massive big cannabis smoker. Christy Childs' brother, Shane Childs, massive, huge. It's like, seriously? I look at him and think, oh, fuck, thank God Nan's dead. We don't have to put up with him. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. And there was one person that should have stood up and said, well, Justin dumped me because he found out I smoked a joint. It's like, yeah. Joseph Menor. Joey Menor. I first met at Mark Hanna's birthday party in 2003 at the W Hotel. Mark Hanna got that idea off me because I used to always be at the W Hotel I used to always be at the W Hotel, and I used to go there with Margie Clay as well. And I actually stayed there one night with Mark Hanna at the W Hotel, and he goes, I should have my birthday party here. I'm like, yeah, it'd be a good place to have your birthday party. Anyway, so Joey Menor, met him at Mark's birthday party, and then I started dating Joseph. Our first date was the 1st of August in 2003. And we had it at Star Casino. So Joey's birthday was. Anyway, I said deal breakers. No, I don't put up with people that have alcohol issues or drink. He goes, well, doesn't drink. I said drug, alcohol issues. So I'm zero tolerance to drug use. Which everybody who actually knows me knows that. So I don't know why they thought I would change since 2015, because I'm not going to. Someone spread some bullshit false information. I thought, fine by me. You can tell me all your secrets and I'll write them down and give them to Crime Stoppers, which is what I did about bullying the Jeffreys. So, yeah, I did. So, anyway, I said to Joey about drugs, and he said, oh, I've smoked cannabis. I said, well, you can't ever smoke cannabis with me. I said, I'm anti. My stepbrother was a big cannabis smoker and my stepfather a big cannabis smoker, and they're nuts. I'm very anti it. Anyway, I left him because like not okay. I left Joseph Mena a few times, so I only met him. Oh, by the way, if you talk to Christy Childs, she's like, "You're with Joseph for years. Have another drink, Christy. You drunk piece of shit. How was it years?" I met him in 2003. Our first date was August 2003, and I left him in April 2004. Can you do a timeline, Christy? I know you're a pathetic loser like your mother, but can you timeline? Because that's August 2003 to April 2004. That's not 1 year. Like I said to him, I said I wasn't with Joey a year, and I left him in that space. And for briefly, I went and saw Carlos Azzi, who used to own Giotto Cafe in Stanley Street in the city. Every time I found out Joseph Mena did anything I didn't like smoke a joint. So in April 2004, I was trying to get in touch with him, and it was over his mum's place, and he'd smoke cannabis and kicked. I said, "That's it, fuck off. I don't put up with that. I can't stand. You know that's the worst thing." So very anti it. So there's my stance is that goes right back to my entire life. Extremely anti. Extremely anti. That. Anyway, I don't love how people just think I'm some liberal person. I'm like, I don't know why. I never have been. I even said to my mother, like, since when? Since when have I been this person? So, kid you not. Like Shane Childs, Christy's Aboriginal partner, Justin, who she had kids with, has been. Daniel Rackley, oh, my cute dog. Yawning. Daniel Rackley, Mark Rackley. And this is where it came from. That's the thing, because these ridiculous losers, I'm talking about police officers from Tamworth. It's like, you know the Rackleys. I'm not related. You know the Rackleys. And that's where it's all coming from. Anyway, so how this started, I don't know, in 2015, it still started. I have no idea how. There was a lot of bullshit said by some dirty abbo. Oh, hey, call a spade a spade. As far as I'm concerned, call a spade a spade. And if it's a black fucking spade, it's a black fucking spade. Sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat things because you're sensitive and you want to scream racism. It's like, sorry, are you a dirty piece of scummy shit? Yes, you are. Are you Aboriginal? Yes, you are. Did I say anything wrong? No. If you're a dirty, scummy Irish, I'd say you're a dirty, scummy Irish. If you're a dirty, scummy piece of shit Abbo, you're a dirty, scummy piece of shit Abbo. I'm not going to be this person that's, oh, let's be so sensitive. No, you're a fucking piece of shit. The guy I brought this dog from. The dirty fucking lowy junkie. So if you're a dirty fucking lowy junkie piece of shit, which is what this guy was, then you're a dirty fucking junkie piece of shit. And that's what you are. And you happen to be Aboriginal. You're a dirty fucking junkie piece of shit Aboriginal. Simple. If you're a white person, I would say the same thing. Simple. So, whatever this guy was doing since October 2015, making up bullshit stories across social media, and it got attention. I was like, this is rubbish. So my mother then used that, because the simple fact is her deadbeat piece of scrubber daughter, Faith Rackley. Faith Rackley is Mark Rackley's daughter. Mark Rackley I'm not related to. We don't share any DNA. His son from his first marriage lived in Tamworth. Daniel Rackley used to affiliate with all the scummy pieces of shit nurses and Freemasons that he did. People, some rebels, bikie gang apparently as well. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is like, and you wonder why I don't speak to my mother. It's like, oh God, disgusting. You are scum, man. Like, you are just lowest of low fucking scum. So, here's how it all started, because some stupid people thought I was related to Rackleys. It's like, well, you're fucking idiots, aren't you? Because I'm not. So now you've told me all your secrets, and I'm just going to report that to Crime Stoppers, like I did to Belinda Jeffries. Like, you're an idiot. Like, seriously, I'm sitting back going, you're a fucking idiot. Like, because someone thought I was related to Rackley, so therefore had the same behaviour as them. Yeah, that's just stupid. And that's basically how this happened. That's how that stuck, because it all came from country people. And I was like, so my mum's doing a scam. Because when Faith, this is what I was getting to, when Faith Rackley, the scummy piece of shit, was 21, she sent me a text message. I've already put it on social media, as I've done all the other people. And it says she was living in the gutter, struggling with deep-seated depression. I'm like, oh, like the Rackleys are. Because the Rackleys have depression, suicide, drug use, cannabis use, alcoholism. That is, like, honest to God, when I've made these statements in the past saying, you wonder why I don't speak to my mother? If she was a decent person would have crossed the road and had nothing to do with Mark Rackley. Okay? A decent person would have crossed the road. She not only fell pregnant to him, she married him. That's disgusting. Now, you can't tell me. And she goes, oh, so I divorced him. I'm like, beside the point. You divorced him, then you ended up with Dave. You're just a lowlife. My mother's disgusting. Like, honest to God, Dave? It's like, you're just disgusting. Seriously. That's just disgusting. Like, I'm actually closer to my stepmother, Debbie. So Debbie Mackay, her married name's Smith. Her first husband's Lindsay Smith. The children that they had, my stepsisters, is Samantha, Laura and Lucy. And then my dad and Debbie had Sky Sheridan Fleming, my younger sister. Now, I'm not I don't approve of their liberalness. I'm more my father. Mark Fleming's very anti. My dad, Mark Fleming's extremely anti-cannabis. Christ. God, I remember once when he thought I was visiting his nephew. And he went off his head. I'm like, Dad, I was visiting Mum's side because the Mum's side lives in Empire Bay as well. I'm like, no. Like, he goes, you were late home because you're over here. And I don't like you hanging around with them because I said, Dad, I was actually at Colette's. Mum's cousin. You got it wrong. He goes, oh. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't fucking... Because there's one of his nephews always passed on. I shouldn't talk about the dead, but Dad's nephew is a bit of a, like, that type, almost like a Shane Childs type character. Like Mum's low-life sister's family. I was like, only one person on my entire father's side was like the scummy shit on my mum's side. One. Anyway. So Mark Fleming, my dad, are extremely anti-cannabis. And they are. Like, the Flemings don't really drink. They have wine selections, they have alcohol, like bars, stuff for aperitifs and so forth. I love Dad. Last year I'm up there. Went up there. God, I love Dad. I'd get along so well with him when he's not being a dick, blame me for stuff I haven't done. Caught up, went up to the club at Long Beach, had dinner with him. Oh, God, I've got to do it again. It's just so relaxing. Honest to God, we sat up to 2:30 in the morning. We get back to Empire Bay, to Hillcrest Road. And he's like, because Dad does, I've never been a drinker, I'm a coffee guy. He's like, oh, can I have Dad's a brandy drinker. Can I have a brandy? I'm like, Dad, do what you want at your house. Like, he jokes, he laughs around. Dad's not an aggressive drunk at all. He's a big softy, would never hurt anyone. Very different to my stepfather. My dad's a very softy guy, lovely man. So he's there and he has 2 brandies, and that's all my dad would drink. When my stepfather, you got to hide it. My stepfather, you have to hide alcohol from him because he's an alcoholic. So my stepfather's family. So the difference between Flemings and Rackleys. Flemings are decent people. Rackleys, suicide, have threatened suicide, have attempted suicide, have deep-seated depression, violence, anger. This is who police thought I was related to. Let me tell you, since 2008, police tagged me in with the Rackleys. Kid you not. That's who they've got me related to, the Rackleys. Yeah, since 2008. And I'm not meant to receive any compensation for that damage. It's like, are you kidding me? I even had police go, well, how did that affect you? I'm like, how did it affect me? Let me tell you something. Daniel Rackley was suicidal. You thought it was me. There you go. My stepfather was suicidal, even threatened it. There's even a Facebook post that says when he was suicidal. Okay, they have depression. They have all these health issues, mental health issues. They have alcoholism. They have drug use. They have cannabis. So how did it affect me? And police are being smart asses. It's like, don't be a smart ass, you cunt. Don't be a fucking smart ass, because I'm not backing down. You owe me, the more years that click by, the more we're like, whoa, you haven't corrected it publicly. You lied. You thought I was a Rackley. You thought I was related to Rackleys. You fucking damaged my credibility, and you're a smart ass cunt about it. There's Mark Ian Fleming, my father, and there's Mark Jeffrey Rackley, my mum's second husband. There's Daniel Rackley, who's the druggo, to do with which all these coppers in Tamworth know, and mental health units in Tamworth know as well. Yeah, my mum manipulated it. As soon as she saw that I was lied about, instead of telling the truth, she's like, oh, and I bet you, I said to people, I said, oh, was she doing some bit of you know what, go in the charity organisations getting money or something? I can guarantee you it's for Faith Rackley. Faith Rackley's the druggo. Living on the street, depression, suicide. She said she owed $15,000 worth of drug money to a bikie gang. Yeah, that's when she was 21. Faith Rackley told me she's been a junkie since a teenager. So once a junkie, always a fucking junkie. My mother pays for everything for her. So my mother spends all this money on Faith Rackley, but she lies. That's why I told Amanda years ago. I told my twin sister Amanda, you're not going to be normal until you get away from Carol. You want to sell and leave. Okay? They're disgusting. Every person, seriously, some Emma Fields. I kid you not, okay, I'm getting off the track here, but in 2015, some Emma Fields. I'm like, yeah, I actually said to my mum, who is this Emma Fields? She goes, oh, so I've met her, but I've not seen her. I think, what is she, about 5, 6 years older than us? I haven't seen her since I was 12. She was saying, oh, did she turn me gay? Mum was like, I've always been gay. I don't know who you're talking about. I was like, oh, hang on. She was like, oh, her mother worked with my father. I'm like, no, your mother worked with Mum's second husband. So your mother knows my stepbrother then. Because my stepbrother used to hang out at some Freemason nursing home called Moonby House. So my stepbrother, Daniel Rackley, hung out with his father who worked at Moonby House. And I said this. It's like, I didn't think I was looking that ugly, where I look like my stepbrother. And these nurses and Freemasons and shit people and first responders in New England know him. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gave my fucking name. He's a little shithead. He's just a low-life scumbag piece of shit. My stepbrother. Anyway, I said to Mum, I said, who's it? And she goes, oh, Emma Fields is an ice junkie. I'm like, oh, fuck, there must be plenty of those in your area then. Because wasn't your nephew Shane Childs? So I said, isn't Shane Childs with Sally? Because that's what this friggin' Deb Mears sound like she knew Shane Childs and Sally. He goes, oh yeah, that's Sally was too. I said, yeah, they all are. I said, you people that you affiliate with up there, they're all low life. You know, you move there the street you live in is nice, and then look at the people you affiliate with. It's like, God, Carol, you might want to get away from your sister. Seriously, if Mum got away from her sister, she might be half decent and stop running around with disgusting people. Anyway, I don't care. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not going to make this video much longer, but that's where this shit came from. It was just wrongly identifying me as my stepfather's family. It's like, well, you're an idiot. Sorry. Or just a birch top. I'm like, you look at what he's doing. Hang on. I'm like, you're an idiot. Yeah, oh, you're not kidding. So anyway, where this was going to, some prick. Like, where I live is just a little disgusting shithole. It's a fucking disgusting shithole. Seriously, it really is. There's only 2 airflow points. There's only 1 window and 2 sliding doors. So you don't have any outside, you know, to look through. So trying to get some airflow from the other end of the place, opening 1 door, having the front one open is one getting airflow all day. And my poor dog's already feeling not too well. Some disgusting piece of shit was smoking this really strong vape and was blown right in through here. And my dog vomited. Like, seriously, it was making me feel sick. My poor dog vomited. I was like, this is disgusting. Who wants to live around people like this? I don't know. Normal person would live around people like this. No, I most certainly don't. And that's why I'm cranky with my dad. It's like, well, Dad, like I said, like I was enjoying my dad's company. My dad's like, oh, it's his place, and you know, he doesn't want the drama. I was like, I don't bring the drama. That's my mother. Okay, don't blame me for your wife, your ex-wife. Sorry. Why you blame me? I said, I live my life in peace. I don't even. I literally tell people, not allowed to know where I live because I don't want you bringing. People knew Giovanni, my ex-partner, was telling people where I lived, and suddenly I had people showing up at my place in 2017 causing drama. It's like, I don't want to know where I live, thanks, because I don't want drama caused. Like, if the only people that I allow as friends in my life is if I find out something I don't like about you, you're dumped. I'm not related to you. My closest friend, Joe and Hillier, my cousin, Joe and Hillier. Aunt Sharon's daughter, Aunt Sharon, Uncle Bobby's daughter. That's one of my closest friends, and I'll stick with that because it's nice to have a cousin to be that close to. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, she lives in a beautiful spot at Blackhead Beach. Good on them. I should have brought down the road where I was going to. Literally was going to buy just down the road from her and be close to my cousins because I am close to her and her husband Mark. And that's because I still had the money left over from the sale of my investment property, which was 16 Scott Road, and I was going to use that money and put it into a place that was near her. It didn't happen, because my auntie Marianne caused some trouble. That's why. But yeah. Oh yeah, my auntie Marianne's a fucking control narcissistic piece of shit. Can't stand her. Marianne Mihalski. So yeah, like my cousin Joe and Hilly are beautiful. I used to enjoy. Seriously, she used to come. There's a hotel in Surrey Hills. There we go. I'm getting off the subject, but I'll put this all in videos so it's out there in the public. Joan, being a university lecturer, very intelligent. I think it was history and English that she was at Sydney University. And then she was headhunted to become a principal or something, or then the head of the English department at a school up near Taree. And she's built a beautiful house there in, I think it's Blackhead Beach. It's right on the beach. It's stunning. The beach, look, where the beach that they live on is beautiful. I love it. Honest to God, it is the most beautiful spot. 3 hours from the city. Well, no, she said they do it in 2.5 hours, but I don't. Maybe I'm not used to the drive. But her and Mark were going back and forth all the time. And then, of course, her brother, Jeff Williams, he's a town planner, town designer. Well, they're down in Shell Harbour. I love, like I said, Tunkatonia, so I love where they live. I said, if I had the money, I'd be living there. Yeah, there's cafes, restaurants. I mean, but where they live, Christ, you want an arm and a leg there because they're right on some reserve where there's only a few houses that's right open to the beach. Actually, Uncle Tony said it's Shell Cove, I think he said more. Anyway, I always call it Shell Harbour, but yeah, it's beautiful. And then Meredith, their other sister, who's my other cousin. So these are all my closest friends. She lives across from Jeffrey. Her and her husband and Brendan. See, I love like Jeffrey and Stacey, Meredith and Brendan. We all got along until the trouble was caused in 2015. Honest to God, my cousins on my father's side and myself, we all got along and was all friends and close right up until the trouble that was caused in 2015. I was like, I didn't cause it. And they all thought that I'd left Geo for some scummy piece of shit. I'm like, no, stop looking on social media. No, I wouldn't do it. I said, and I haven't left Geo. We're on a break. I left him around August 2016. I said, but I'm on a break. And that guy I brought my dog from, he's a prostitute. Sorry to tell you. I said, but I'm having sex on the side with a complete stranger. That's nothing more than a free prostitute. I said, I wouldn't go out with that. God, give me some credit, please. That guy's just a free prostitute, that Brett Aikenhead. Oh, gross. Christ, have you seen him? I'm going to put a bag over his head before I have sex with him. Gross. I watched him domestos afterwards. I'm like, he's an undomesticated abo. Well, I wouldn't go out with that. Seriously, so I've been a smartass to my cousins. Because they're like, are you running around with these people? I'm like, no. Midlife crisis. I've left my relationship. I'm having a brief single dash. And I said, I'm not enjoying it because there's just scum out there. Anyway. But yeah, no, there's a lot of wrong information. Yes, I know, my cutie. At that, because I just want to keep this one under half an hour, I'll upload that. But yeah, no, it's you can always tell where the wrong information comes from, and it comes from the try-hard family, my mother's side, that don't know me at all. They're just scummy. I can't stand my mother's sisters. Can't. Christy fucking Childs. Oh, the scummy lowlife. Yeah. Anyway. No, there's nothing good you could say about my mother's side after my grandparents, Reg and Lola. Because there's nothing worth any sort of credibility to do with their daughters at all. And my grandfather, George Purdy, used to say that. Reginald George Purdy used to always say about controlling his feral daughters. So, there we go. I'll leave it at that. This little thing. All right. So back to with the other videos. These have gone on to me just making diary notes and talking about the experience of the last 10 years, which is great because I've got it all in recordings. But how I used to have this. So the spare room, like I said, my videos and my setting up for filming used to be filming myself, practicing lines when I used to do acting film and television, practicing scripts. I used to have the corner office set up which was half the the study office and so forth, and then the other side was set up for my design work and my artwork. So it was actually, and then I used to be able to film as well, and it was actually useful, you know, filming. Now it's just, well, this is just explaining what the shit hole crap went on for 10 years. And I'm just going to sit back and go, oh, well, give me a solicitor. No, but and that's for my scummy fucking mother's family. All right, really? Carol gets told, I got lied about in 2015. What did she do? Oh, she sucked up some dirtbag pieces of shit people's asses. Carol will never learn to change the character that she's become since she was with the Rackleys. And that's it. I mean, all I can say is I'm really grateful that my poor father, Mark Ian Fleming, had the balls. It must have been very hard on my dad to walk away of everything that he worked hard for. Because he did. In the 80s, my dad walked out. Not walked out of us. No. I remember exactly. And he was like, oh, she's fucking nuts. Her and her fucking... Like, Dad would tell you. Dad would say, I'll tell you exactly what they're fucking like, those purdies. You'd be sitting there trying to have dinner. You'd be sitting down to dinner. That phone was ringing off the wall. Carol would answer, and it's fucking sis. Carol would answer again, it's Marion. Oh, they're screaming, oh, fuck you. I've just come home from work. I'm trying to sit down and have dinner. And Dad would tell you, Dad Mark Fleming would tell you exactly what 3 pieces of shit those women are. And they're nothing but 3 pieces of shit. And their daughters are nothing but pieces of shit like their mothers. And that's a simple fact. Okay, my twin sister needs a pack and run and get the hell away from my mother and her sisters to be someone normal. She's never going to be normal. That's what she has to do. But they're just disgusting. The Purdy women, the 3 Purdy dogs, they're 3 Purdy bitches, they're nothing, and their daughters are fucking foul. Seriously, just the same. And I'll never be anything of any substance. Look at them. As far as I'm concerned, look at them. Marianne Mahowski, are you fucking kidding me? Christ almighty, she's almost worse than mum these days. But yeah, no. So my dad, Mark Ian Fleming, will say, yeah, Christ almighty, you sit there like, you'd be sitting at the phones ringing, they're arguing, it's every day, they're arguing every day. It's a screaming match. It's those 3 women. Those 3 women, it's a screaming match. And then the worst thing is, but they drag everybody else into it. Then Marianne, Robin, and Carol all thick as thieves again, and everyone else is on the outside. Like Dad, Mark Fleming, he goes, oh yeah, they'll drag everyone into their argument. But then next minute, they're all friends and you're on the outside, and oh, you're the blame. It's like, no, you dragged me into your shit. You ask Dad, say, what hell this has been going on. I'm 46 this year. I've had this hell from that dog of a family for 46 fucking years. Okay? I had to endure it just to keep my grandmother happy. To the point that I started resenting my grandmother. Look at me, straight on doing this video here. I resented my grandmother so much that I couldn't stand being around her. There you go. I could not stand being around my grandmother anymore because of her 3 daughters. The resentment of having my life destroyed, and I used to say to her, I said, no, this is destroying my life. Okay, I can't put up with this. Like, this is back when I'm like, no, I'm almost 34 years of age. You can see so I'm almost 46. You can see that what I said was a conversation I had to have with my nan. I'm not putting up with this anymore. This is your daughters, and Pop told you to control them, and you wouldn't do it. They're feral, low life pieces of shit, and that's exactly what those 3 women are.